problem with this move?
I think it's a typical Colt move. I mean, here's a team that needed a franchise quarterback. There were two out there. They have a chance at two. They don't take it. They end up coming back into the picture to get Trent Dilfer. They take an outside linebacker, not even a true outside linebacker. Somebody has to learn coverage in Trev Alberts. They have Coriat, they have Harad. They do have a hole that developed with the release of Dwayne Bickett. But to pass up a Trent Dilfer when all you have is Jim Harbaugh, give me a break. That's why the Colts are picking second every year in the draft, not battling for the Super Bowl like other clubs in the National Football League.
Who in the hell is Mel Kiper? My neighbor has more credentials than Mel Kiper, and my neighbor's supposed to...
What do you want to cover first, our players?
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and a happy Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. Good afternoon, Game Time Brian. On this Easter Sunday, I'm not going to lie to you. Was I not frustrated a little while ago doing my video?
You were, and I said, walk away.
I had to walk away. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sensory overload when it comes to this NFL draft. Merch, Game Time merch. Go get you some. You want to help out the channel? That's the best way you can. I am having a serious block, everybody. This NFL draft is the toughest I've had to handicap as far as first round picks. I'm not trying to say I'm the best, but I do a very good job in nailing down, at the very least, my Cowboys pick. Which I like in a sense, but when I'm trying to get content out there and not look like a fool, and all the information that I had to walk away because there's going to be trades, and I included trades. If I wasn't doing trades and I just want to mail it in and, oh, okay, this, that, I'm really taking everything in, and it's not as easy as what people make it out to be. Plus, these mock draft, these simulators, I'm using the Jimmy Johnson chart, right? I have the chart there. I'm like, okay, this should work, and the damn simulator turns it down. Now, I'm like, okay, and then I give extra, and it turns it down. I'm like, what's going on? And we see all the smoke screens regarding, I think Dallas is pretty, I'm not overthinking it. I think it's pretty decent. You got to understand how Dallas Cowboys work, everybody. Just look at the resources that they've already given out. You know, running back is a need. Big time need. Do I think they're going to take it at 12? I do not. I don't. I don't care what Mel Kiper says. Sorry, Mel. I think you're wrong for once. The GOAT, I think you're wrong. I think it's going to be a wide receiver. So for Dallas, I'm not that hard up. Now, I'm leery of any player that rises through the draft process, not what the tape shows you. I'm not saying Armand Membu is not going to be a great player. I'm not saying you couldn't plug and play him at right tackle, right guard now. I'm not saying that. Or at Kelvin Banks Jr. I'm not saying that you can't. But Membu came out of nowhere out of Missouri. He's a beast. But Dallas has went out and re-signed Brock Hoffman, right? We got T.J. Bass. We went out and brought in not one, not two, but 3 external free agents, 2 of which have tackle flex, 2 of which are mostly going to be guards, but the latest free agent plays both tackle spots, not counting Sadiq Charles. So we've invested a lot in the offensive line. Now, does that mean we can't take on a 12? No. But I honestly don't believe that's what's going to happen. And that's what I was getting frustrated with doing the draft. Not so much for Dallas. I know what teams need. I'm trying to sift because I'm trying to take pride in my final mock. With trades, it's not easy. It's not like I could just force a trade. I guess I could, but I'm not just going to do that. I'm actually trying to be realistic with this. There was a trade that I discussed based on the Eagles. Eagles would potentially trade up to number 4 to draft Abdul Carter. You'd have to give up A.J. Brown and more. I don't believe that's going to happen. I believe that's being discussed. I think Howie's doing his due diligence with everything, and he should. I don't believe Abdul Carter's going to be there at 4. Every time I do a mock draft, I don't believe Shedeur Sanders is going to the Giants. I'm going to give a little hint. I'll have it done later today. I don't know that I'll release it today. We have our live stream tonight. I'll probably release it either tomorrow, possibly Monday night. Stay tuned on that. I got to set up the live stream for Tuesday. Philly 500 and the Cop Pistols coming in with Mark Holmes. So that'll be fun, but I got to set that up. But it's at the top of the draft where you, like when you look into individual teams and you see what they have, how many draft picks. A lot of some teams don't have third-round picks. You know, the idea is to maximize each team, not just look out for the Cowboys. So, I do have some trades that I'm working. You know, I just gotta. It just takes time to work out all the particulars, but I had to step away from it because when you look into it, this year there's a lot of smoke screens. Why? That's not the stud, the top of the draft. Outside of the first 5 guys, it's not that way. There's question marks everywhere. It's just like, what flavor do you like? Everybody's doing it. I do think Dallas is going to get snaked out. We've been crying for the trade down. I don't think Dallas is going to pull the trigger on a trade down. They don't. I think they're going to stick and pick, and it's going to frustrate me. But that's what it is being a Cowboy fan these days. I think it is frustrating. I think they'll get a good player, but I'm looking at maximizing the whole draft instead of just maximizing number 12. You know, that's the difference. I'm looking at maximizing the draft, not just maximizing 12. 44. That's big. That's big. Everybody knows that defensive tackle is big in this draft. Everybody does. Everybody knows that running backs are big in this draft. But Dallas, you know, the only thing I can't get out of my head is, okay, we brought in 2 journeyman running back who are not the main guy. Okay, well, that means you're taking running back at 12. Because you can't say that we didn't bring in a receiver. We spent a 4th-round draft pick on Mingo, and I believe Ultra Cowboy is correct. Mingo will be he will be the X-receiver. He will be given every opportunity to start on his football team. So then why am I taking a receiver at 12? Because you can't just do this. This is how they went bad when they took Tyler Guyton. They put themselves in a corner where they go into the draft needing a position. And now, after I was watching Mark Holmes' video, Duke Manyweather has come out on Twitter and basically said he doesn't know about Tyler Guyton. Well, that tells me Tyler Guyton is not with Duke Manyweather. I don't know the details of what's going on there, but I got news for you. My Cowboys faithful, I'm concerned about Tyler Guyton being a bust. I'm just being honest. If the guy who was working with him diligently is telling you he don't know about Tyler Guyton, that's not something you hear from a guy. This is what happens when you force a pick. Will the Tyler Guyton be the next Taco Charlton? Which goes back to why I'm confused. Because if that's the case, why aren't we looking? Whoever the Dallas deems is that guy at the next left tackle. Why aren't we talking about Josh Simmons or in a trade down with Josh Simmons? He's the best left tackle in the sport, coming off an injury. I mean, do you see the frustration? Now you say, well, because offensive tackle is not deep. There's a lot of risk. We don't have, just remember this. They went into last year starting Chuma Edoga. They went in starting it's Chuma Edoga. And Chuma got hurt. And Tyler Guyton was not ready. Tyler Guyton was not a first-round pick last year. He was in 7 total college football games played. But again, like you're hearing now, Eagles do not have 32 first-round grades. I've said this for years. Every draft, when we drafted Mozzie Smith, everybody wants to shit on the pick. There were 17, 18, maybe 20 first-round graded players. And Dallas was picking, 27? 26 or 27? I think it was 27. So, what do you expect? I was calling for Nolan Smith because of how far he dropped, or Joey Porter Jr. And Joey Porter Jr. went in the top of the second and is a better player than Mozzie Smith. Nolan Smith is better than Mozzie Smith right now. He is. You can sit there and talk all the shit you want. You got to talk facts, or you're only embarrassing yourself. Nolan Smith isn't great. Nolan Smith had a good year last year. Better than Mozzie Smith. So, again, other content, creators can make up their own narrative and try and sugarcoat things. DMV had it right from the get-go. Mozzie Smith was a reach at best. Big-time reach. And we looked at each other like, I always go back to it. It's like that movie Armageddon. I'm thinking that the Cowboys know more than we do. I'm a mailman doing YouTube. You know what I mean? The DMV is a ex-college football player, high school football coach, but we're not pro scouts. It's like I'm expecting a $1 billion organization paying millions of dollars in their drafting department to know more than we do. And sometimes they don't, or they overthink it, or there's too many hands in a cookie jar. I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm at a loss for the Dallas Cowboys this year. As far as I think they're going to get a good player, but there's nobody off the table. If Tyler Guyton is what we're hearing, how can you go into the regular season? Now, you do have Asim Richards coming off an injury, but offensive tackles is the thinnest it's been as I can remember, assuming Tyler Guyton is not the guy. Now, I know Ultra likes to say, well, Guyton's going to give every opportunity. Well, I mean, I get it, but we need to have a backup plan, right? Like Armageddon. Don't you just have a group of guys in the back just thinking up shit? That's your job. Are you here to tell me that these guys here are what you're relying on? It's just dumbfounding when you got a quarterback as brittle as Dak Prescott these days, that our left tackle is the biggest suspect. Now, I love Asim Richards, but they don't seem to love him as much as I love him, meaning the Cowboys, because they went and they got Tyler Guyton and were willing to start Chuma Edoga going into last year, who I'm on record as saying was a below average offensive lineman. Played decently last year. So it's very frustrating trying to come up with a mock draft because I'm trying to get as many of these picks right. Listen, these trades are a crapshoot, but there's certain teams that are looking to trade, and they're going to lose the trade. If Dallas trades down, they're going to lose in value. That's fine. As long as you get your 4th round pick back, or you have 2 3s, which may be more likely, I just don't think they're going to pull the trigger. I think they're going to stick and pick a player at 12, and we could all debate it. So you're telling me that we're going to give a number 4 for Mingo, and then we're going to give a number 1 pick. So that's a lot of investment when you got to see the Lamb already on your team. And all the Jalen's that are there, sometimes I don't really know. To me, offensive line is the biggest need. If you're telling me Tyler Guyton is his biggest question mark that is now emerging, that we can't rely on him, like coming into a second year, then you need to get a left tackle and create competition for him now. Why wait? What's the sense of going out and getting any running back if you're left tackle? Listen, you need to protect Dak Prescott. You need to create running room for your running back. So now we've come full circle. I don't think with all the offensive line additions that they've made. But this latest news on Tyler Guyton is not good. And this is the cheapest way to address it, with a situation with a Josh Simmons out of Ohio State, who is the best out there at the tackle position. I'm sorry. I like him better than Will Campbell. I like him better than Will Campbell, who's probably going to go number 4 overall. He's just coming off an injury. So I don't know. Let me know what you think is going to happen. I don't want to make this too long. We're out and about. We're not going to be long. But happy Easter to everybody. We're going to go home. We're going to get I was going to smoke the ham, but the time got away from me. It's not going to happen. Maybe next time. So we're just going to cook it in the oven. It's going to be a quiet day at the household today. So we're going to chill. We got our WrestleMania Part 2. My wife is thrilled. But it is what it is. I do it to myself. I haven't done as much, so this is my opportunity. Loyal Cowboy will definitely be in the house. Prime time, I don't know. Probably not. He's not feeling the greatest. And I'll make it a channel member Zoom. That's fine. But then I got to get my act together with all these thumbnails for this week coming up. So I will talk to everybody later. Let me know what you think is going to happen. Eagles, what are you doing? I mean, what are you guys doing? You trading up? You trading down? I mean, I'm just curious. I find it hard to believe that Howie's going to stick at 32. But this is a year where it might be smart to do exactly that. I mean, I don't know. You have a lot of draft picks. To me, I would hold on to your draft picks, because that's the meat of the draft, where you guys are lined up. And take a good player at 32. Don't outthink yourself. But my Cowboys got me thinking. I don't know where to go. It's very, very frustrating. We're going to get snaked out by a couple players that some of you fans want. So, all right. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
What's your contingency plan?
Contingency plan?
Your backup plan. You got to have some kind of backup plan, right?
No, we don't have a backup plan. This is it.
And this is the best that you could, that the government, the U.S. government can come up with? I mean, you're NASA, for crying out loud. You put a man on the moon. You're geniuses. You're the guys that think his shit up. I'm sure you got a team of men sitting around somewhere right now just thinking shit up and somebody backing them up. You telling me you don't have a backup plan? That these 8 Boy Scouts right here, that is the world's hope? That's what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Oh,